Hey everybody, it's me again. I just got off work, headed out to a little campsite where I'm gonna stay for the night. I think was it yesterday or Friday, I was talking about the Civil War history around here. So I just figured on the way home I'd stop by a spot that I know of. There's a little marker. Let this car go by because it's loud. Anyway, there's a marker out here mentioning the guy from the Civil War. So Saturday I got out, I was aiming at the metal detector and I didn't get to. So I got to roaming around, checking out some of these old cemeteries here, and I found his grave. So I thought it was pretty neat. The guy that's on the marker, I found his grave. So I just started on the way home today, or campsite there, but well, I guess that is my home. But anyway, I just started on the way there. I'd show it to you. So it's only going to be a second for you, but it's going to take me a few minutes to get there. But I'll get back with you as soon as I get there and we'll look at it together. Okay, there's the marker. That's the marker of Mr. Smith. He was an African-American slave in this part of Kentucky. He escaped. You can pause it and read it if you want, but the short version was he escaped and run off to join the Union Army. The infantry out of Illinois there, where he got hurt in Shiloh. Remember I was telling you about a couple of wars down in Shiloh. This man got hurt there. There's more on the other side, but I ain't going to show it. Pretty much what it says is he fought in the Civil War for a year or two. Then he got out and bought a bunch of land around here. Anyway, look like my camera's getting in and out of focus. But anyway, we'll go back here. I'll show you his grave there where he's buried out here. He actually owned, this is all National Forest, but he used to own a lot of this land. This was his land. And of course, over time, it became somebody else's and then it became state forest. But yeah, he was very predominant and a wealthy man. If you follow history and enjoy history, he started out being a slave. He never was freed. He actually ran away. But because of his service in the army, they pretty much gave him papers, I could think of what he used to call it, as a free man, which I don't agree with all that. Anyway, that's a whole different story. I believe if you're born free, you should be free. Slavery was a bad thing, but, we could argue about that all day long. But anyway, let's go back here and find his resting place, his grave, and I'll show it to you. It'll take a few minutes. It'll only be a second for you, but it'll take me a few minutes. Now this is the road here. I was just out walking around. I parked about a mile back here. I was just out walking around and decided to walk down this gravel road here to see where it went. And stumbled upon this cemetery here. And I'll get up here and I'll show you what I found. This cemetery is what I found. I walked upon. From the research I did, all them little stones, like right there and there, and they're all over. They're all unmarked Civil War graves. Now there's a lot out here that's marked. They go way back in there, the unmarked ones. Now there's a lot that's marked, and have their names and their service and all that. And there's some modern ones. When I say modern, I mean like World War II and such. The newest one I found in here was 59 or 55. Something like that. I have to look. But, it's still an old cemetery. But they're not all Civil War. There's a lot of, like I said, World War II. I didn't see any World War I's. There might not have been nobody in this area that was in World War I. But either way, we'll get out and I'll go over here and show you Mr. Smith's grave. Okay, I'm sorry folks, I had a phone call I had to answer. But anyway, let's go out here and see Mr. Smith. Try not to walk on these graves. I consider it disrespectful. But if you'll notice, all of them from my research, them are unmarked Civil War graves. And from what I read, this land right here that we're on, and all this out through there, that was all Mr. Smith's land. He owned it. If I understand right what I read. But anyway, right here is Mr. Andrew Smith, Civil War veteran from 1843 to 1932. Trying not to walk on these graves, really. But there he is. And if I seen right, this right here says the father of Mr. Smith. I didn't notice it last time I was here. But I find this stuff pretty neat. Pretty interesting. I don't know. I'm a big history buff. I love Civil War stuff. And I just find it, you know, most of the time you just get a name. That's all you get. And it's hard to understand that person with just a name. So, I think it's pretty neat. If you look, man, these unmarked graves just go on and on and on. But I think it's pretty neat when you can actually, I don't know if I'd say meet the person, but actually, yeah, I guess I would say meet. Now, obviously, we haven't talked or nothing, but I just find it really intrigues me that when I can actually be where the person is, instead of it just being a name, it's actually, you know, yeah, I'm just going to say I get to meet them. But anyway, I could spend all day out here. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. But I could spend all day out here. I'm just fascinated by this. Or by Civil War. I mean, any kind of history, but Civil War just fascinates me. I mean, they just go on and on and on. I see a bunch down here in the wood line. I'm going to go check them out. It looked like at one time they might have some kind of marker. I see little metal, like signs in the ground, but they don't have no writing on them, so I don't know. But yeah, let me get down here and check some of these out and see if I can find some information. I did find one. You probably can't see it because I said there wasn't no World War I graves here. But actually I just stumbled across one. Man, I can't say that. World War I. It's Mr. Andrew Young. July 21st, 1897 to May 22nd, 1950. So Mr. Young served in the service for us. Because of that man right there, I have the freedom to do what I'm doing right now. Some people don't look at it like that. They just see a rock with a name scribed on it. But to me, because of him and Mr. Smith and all these gentlemen out here, I'm able to live the life I'm living right now. And I have great respect for them. It's not just a rock in the ground to me. Some people can't understand that and some can, but I don't know. It's just hard to explain. I just feel different about it. I mean, most folks drive by here and they just see a cemetery. Don't even take time to, I would say, get to know these people, but to see the history. A lot of cemeteries have history. Most folks are creeped out by them, and other people just forget them, you know. It's just a stone stuck in the ground. But to me, I like exploring them. There's tons of history in the cemetery. And a lot of these people, I mean, here I'm just standing by some. There's no markings on them at all. There's not even a name. I mean, they're just forgotten. So I like to come out here and visit. I mean, not to sound creepy or nothing, but come out here and do a little investigation, a little history lesson for me. I mean, I could stay out here all day long. I really enjoy this. Here's another cool one, Mr. Owen Benberry. He's a private, 8th Division of U.S. Heavy Artillery, 1840 to 1890. I mean, just what if you could sit down with that man right there and talk to him? What stories could he tell you? I mean, I could sit for weeks and listen to somebody. You know, if I was able to talk to him, just think 1840, 1890, what kind of stories would he have to tell? I mean, it just fascinates me just thinking about that. Anyway, I don't want this video to get too long. I just wanted to bring you out here so you can meet Mr. Smith. And really, the only thing I got left to say is A lot of these men out here that's laying in this ground out here, they gave so much just so me and you could have the freedom we have now. You're not standing in the bread line. You're not in a concentration camp. I mean, I don't know where you're at this moment, but I guarantee you're doing what you want to do and how you want to do it, because that's what freedom's all about. So, saying that, I'd like to say, you know, we celebrate Veterans Day one time a year. One time. You're not free one day a year. You're free 365 days a year. So why do we honor and celebrate them one day out of the year? So next time you meet a veteran, or if you know a veteran or have a family member that's a veteran, just go up there and shake their hand and say thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for my freedom. Don't wait till that one day on the calendar and do it. I mean, you're not free one day, you're free all year long. So every time you meet one, shake their hand and say thank you. But anyway, let's go back here to Mr. Smith, because that's the whole reason I come out here. I'm gonna get online, do a little research on Mr. Smith here and find out more. I just kind of checked it out a little bit. What I can gather, he owned all this land here, way back in there, all that land, this was all his, and he gets to rest eternally on his land, so that's pretty neat. But anyway, I just want to say thank you for watching. Hope you're having a great day. Don't forget, if you know a veteran or if you happen to meet one, shake their hand and just look them square in the eye and say thank you. Don't forget to get out and enjoy the day. Try to, at least an hour a day, just get out. If nothing else, just walk down your neighborhood or go to your local park or something. Because like I said before, don't waste it. When the day's gone, it's gone forever. You'll never get it back. But anyway, I hope you're having a great day. Thank you for watching, and God bless. We'll see you next time.